Today on The Young and the Restless, Claire shares a drink with Spoiler after Summer interrupts her and Kyle. Chance gives Nick and Daniel a chilling update, and Sharon saves Phyllis.soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At the club, Kyle and Claire talk about Jack and Diane. He teases that they still have their differences, like which James Bond movie they'll watch. Kyle learns Claire has never seen them and explains that Bond drinks martinis. He pours them champagne and she asks what they're celebrating. Just then, Summer walks in and tells Kyle they need to talk. It's about Harrison. Looking peeved, Claire offers to step aside so they can talk. Summer tells Kyle that she's concerned what Harrison will hear about her mother at school. She's really missing, and there are cops' children in his class. He's already had questions because he was supposed to play ping pong with Phyllis yesterday. This thought makes Kyle smile. He assures Summer she's not being overprotective. Summer thinks they need to prepare him. They need to talk to their son, tonight. Summer knows her mom can take care of herself, but this is driving her crazy, and she's trying to focus on the things she can control. Kyle argues that they shouldn't interrupt their son's movie night with his parents, but Summer worries that if he hears about Phyllis going missing, he'll flash back to when Jordan kidnapped him and feel afraid. Do they want that for even a moment? Kyle concedes that she's right. Summer's sorry she interrupted his romantic dinner. Kyle stands. They'll go up and talk to Harrison, who will always come first. Claire returns and asks if they need more time. Kyle is sorry, but Summer made him realize they need to talk to Harrison about Phyllis. Claire understands. Kyle asks her to wait for him. Summer doesn't want to rush their talk with Harrison. Claire tells Kyle to take all the time he needs and kisses him. She'll wait at the bar. Once there, she orders a martini. Nick joins Victoria at Society and thanks her for meeting him. They talk about Sharon and Phyllis going missing. Victoria says it's so unlike Phyllis to stay off the radar, and remarks on neither of them calling him back. Nick's not sure what to think. Victor sighs that it's been quite a year for their family. Nick admits it's getting harder and harder to stay positive. She says they have to lean on each other and stay strong for their kids. That's what Sharon and Phyllis would want him to do. Nick thinks his sister is right about the kids. No matter how old they are, they pick up on stuff. Victoria muses about them always managing to put on a brave face. Nick says he was talking to Billy about that earlier. He shares that he stopped by earlier to discuss Phyllis. Victoria says they're both great fathers, they have that in common. She tells Nick he doesn't always have to be so strong. Nick admits it would be nice if there was a day when things didn't fall apart, and he didn't have to worry. Victoria thinks that's coming. She points out Victor's recovering, Nikki's sober, and Claire is finally rid of Jordan. She's sure Phyllis and Sharon will reach out soon. Nick hopes she's right, but he has a sinking feeling they're in real danger. In the abandoned mental hospital, Phyllis cries out. She's in pain and feels like she drank battery acid. Sharon coaxes her to drink the bottle with the sticker. They realize Phyllis' pulse is racing. Sharon's sure that she was poisoned by water. When she drinks the one with the sticker, it will be the end. Phyllis is unconvinced. Sharon reminds her it's a game. Phyllis questions if it's just game over for her. Sharon calls out to the voice to ask if she got the riddle correct. Phyllis trusts her less than she does the voice, who needs to answer right now. Phyllis continues to agonize on the sofa and yells as Sharon continues trying to convince her to drink the antidote. They get to discussing Sharon poisoning Daniel's whiskey. Sharon reminds her she accused her of trying to run her off the road. You were wrong about me then and you are wrong about me now. She hands her the water bottle. Phyllis still won't drink. Sharon can't force her. This is your call. Phyllis finally tells her to give her the bottle. Whether it kills her or not, at least she won't have to listen to her self-righteous voice anymore. Shut up. She drinks and they wait. Chilling update from Chance at Society. Nick doesn't know what to tell his kids. They don't know that Sharon and Phyllis are in trouble, and that's the truth. He can lie to the kids. Victoria guesses he can't lie to himself. I can tell from the look on your face that you're 100% convinced that Sharon and Phyllis need your help, aren't you? Daniel appears. He's with him on that. He's telling Lucy everything's fine, but tries to tell himself that and he just can't buy it. Nick for so long. Daniel worries they'll never see Sharon or his mother again. Daniel has been in constant contact with Chance, and the Force has come up with absolutely nothing. Now Summer's freaking out and Lucy's asking why her grandmother isn't texting her back. He can't send her on tour with Danny again without tipping her off. Victoria suggests Lucy come out to the ranch. Daniel appreciates that. Nick is telling Daniel they both have a lot of questions, but no answers, when Chance walks in. He's glad they're both there. He has news about Sharon and Phyllis. They now have evidence that they need to be found. They have footage of a windowless white van driving around the corner they last saw Phyllis on footage. Similarly, the same van was caught on camera leaving the Cassidy First parking lot, where Sharon's car was left behind. Since then, there's been no sign of Phyllis or Sharon. In the mental institution, Phyllis is still alive but feels her stomach is full of fish hooks being pulled out. Sharon urges her to drink the rest of the bottle of water. Phyllis does and then throws it. Sharon wants her to get up and move around. Phyllis asks if she's trying to make her vomit. Sharon thinks it will get the antidote into her system faster and to help her. She hoists her to her feet and drags her around in a couple of circles. Phyllis has to go back to the sofa. She's too weak, but she feels like the pain is fading. Sharon tells Phyllis they passed the test. Phyllis isn't brimming with optimism. Sharon points out they should celebrate that she didn't die. Phyllis complains about being held captive by a psychotic game show host. She hollers that if he lets them go, she promises not to rip his eyes out when she sees him. Sharon says they won. Phyllis asks, "What about next round?" The buzzers sound loudly and the voice congratulates Sharon, who rants about him physically hurting one of them. "Can we at least play nice?" The buzzer blares. Sharon says, "They wanted me to save you. This was a part of the game." She could just as easily have been the one who drank the tainted water. It could have been her writhing on the floor. She wonders, if it had been her, would you have saved me? Sharon doesn't believe Phyllis would stand idly by while she died, even though she hates her. Phyllis muses, "Maybe I wouldn't have unraveled the riddle. Clearly, I'm not as smart as you, Sharon." Sharon tells her if this is how she wants to play it, if hating her is the distraction she needs right now, she's good with that. Sharon recaps that they still hate each other, but she's glad Phyllis is okay. For the record, she believes if the tables were turned, she'd have done the same thing. They debate whether Sharon saving her life goes toward earning Phyllis forgiveness. The redhead knows she wants to talk, but she's exhausted after what her body has gone through. She can't get off the couch. Sharon urges her to rest. She'll watch over her. Phyllis whispers, "Thank you. Thank you for saving my life." Sharon replies, "You're welcome." At the club bar, Claire sips her martini as Holden comes in. They get to talking about a variation on the beverage, and Holden orders 2 Vespers so she can try one. Claire tastes it. She likes it better than the classic martini. They keep talking as he educates her. He teases. They say, "Pick your poison. This is mine." She muses, "Maybe mine too." He learns she hasn't seen the Bond movies, but think Daniel Craig is sexy. Holden brings up his friend who is into old books. They introduce themselves and toast as Kyle and Summer return. Summer muses, "It looks like Claire has made a new friend." Kyle butts in between Holden and Claire and updates her on their chat with Harrison. Summer says goodnight and smiles as she walks away. Kyle asks Claire, "Is that a martini?" She says it's actually a Vesper. "This gentleman introduced me to them." Holden nods. Back at their table, Kyle apologizes again to Claire for the interruption. Summer puts on a strong front, but I can tell she's really scared about her mom. Claire's not threatened by her. Kyle asks if that's liquid courage. Claire asks if she needs it. Kyle reassures her. Claire decides she might have another drink. It's hard to tell how hard it's hitting. She's always a little lightheaded around him. At society, Nick tells Daniel, Victoria, and Chance that now that they have a lead on Sharon and Phyllis, they're going to bring them home. In the mental hospital, Sharon covers Phyllis as she sleeps. The voice tells her, "Well done, Sharon. You're one step closer to liberation." Sharon asks what the hell that means. Why does it matter so much to him that she and Phyllis reconcile? "What's in it for you?" The voice says it's an accomplishment. He denies that it's personal. "Think of this as an experiment and nothing more." Sharon cries, "We're lab rats?" She wants to know if they'll be set free if they win. Or do you have something else in mind? The voice tells.